Japan's shock win against Germany. I mean, just incredible upsets continue after Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. Nick, I mean, this just was one of those games where everything kind of went wrong for Germany when they didn't need it to, and everything went right for Japan. They got the substitutes spot on. Japan were 1-0 down, could have been 2 or 3-0 down early in the second half, but then the game just flipped, the momentum flipped. They beat Germany for the first time ever in their history. I mean, the Samurai Blue, I said the subs there were sensational. The nickname is sensational as well, by the way. But Matoma coming on, Tomiyasu, Asano, Diane, they got the goals, 2 of the subs, and they were all combining. So it was a perfect game plan by Japan, and just reflect on sort of them as a team. And do we have them down as a bit of a dark horse in this tournament?
I was going to say Samurai Blue, a dark blue, a dark horse. I thought they were beforehand. You guys know this. And within a half an hour, within a half, I had said, in fact, I had Spain, Japan, Germany as the 1, 2, 3 in the group, a kind of shock here. And after a half hour, I was like, guys, did I say that on the air? Can I avoid that? Can we take that video and strike it from the record? Japan looked awful. Their keeper looked like he just realized how to use his hands. He was so bad. The penalty, he gave away a penalty and then was like, let me make sure that I gave away that penalty by then grabbing the guy again. But something happened with those subs, and it completely changed the game. And that is, one of those, the beauty of the sport we watch, where you can be the worst team, and just that swing of momentum means the ball can be yours for 10, 15 minutes. And
incredible. Incredible. Germany just didn't know what hit them. I mean, they were pressing high early on, Andy. I mean, is that kind of describing how Japan won this game? Because they kind of just flooded midfield. Gundogan and Kimmich are usually so calm and relaxed on the ball. They weren't happy. They had Japanese midfielders just flying into them, couldn't really pick out the passes. Germany, even though they were 1-0 up and had chances early in the second half, never really had control of this game. You could just get a sense that Japan were growing in confidence. And then, those subs made all the difference, didn't they? So the USA knew about this, as we said in the recent friendly, how good they could be. But that was a huge, huge day for Japan and in their history as a World Cup nation. I mean, that is a massive, massive victory for them.
Yeah, Nick, earlier in the group chat, you likened it to some of the U.S. performance against Wales and how Germany kind of got a lead. And they were more aggressive with taking shots, and they took one of their chances, obviously. They got a penalty. But I kind of felt like it was more like the France performance as the game wore. Or there was an opportunity, I guess, for it to go the way of the France performance, because Japan did come out and start so quickly, and Germany to kind of push them back the way that they did with the goal. It felt really harsh on Japan, and so once they got their footing in that game, it felt like, wow, this is the better team, and that was really shocking to think. But if you look up and down the Germany team, it's not the kind of German team that we've come to expect. And I think this might be that really disappointing tournament. Another, I guess, really disappointing tournament where they bottom out and they have a lot of questions to ask, because that didn't look like a confident team. It didn't look like a team that understood how they wanted to play. And they came up against a team that was both of those things in Japan. And the difference from the game against France, between France and Australia, was the opponent. Japan had the quality and the confidence and the belief and the subs to go on and take that victory.
Incredible scenes. I mean, just you could see the jubilation on the Japan players, the fans, the manager. Unexpected a little bit, but like we said, they are a bit of a dark horse, so watch out for them now. And obviously, they have the better of the schedule, playing Costa Rica next, and then Germany plays Spain. So, Japan obviously got to the last 16 and were 2-0 up against Belgium in the last World Cup, but then blew that. But so maybe we shouldn't be as surprised, but still very surprising against Germany. Like you said, Andy, usually so organized, so well drilled, and just doesn't seem to be there defensively. Midfield, the substitutes I thought were a bit weird, bringing off some of their better players during the game. That was the first time, believe it or not, in a World Cup that Germany had lost the game that they were winning at halftime since 1978. So that just shows you how ruthless that Germany are when they go ahead at World Cup games. But Andy, you want to jump in one more time?
Yeah, well, we got to remember the new coach in charge of Germany after a really, really long time with Jogi Löw in charge. Like that's such an underrated thing that I think has gone under the radar because of the way that this World Cup has been scheduled and where it falls, we don't have a true lead up to the tournament. I think if we did, we probably would have looked at this a little bit closer, or even just on the surface and said, well, we don't know what Germany's going to look like. And they were, they got through qualifying, obviously, and didn't really have many problems. But anytime you go to a major tournament, first time a coach has been in charge of a major tournament, that is setting the stage, setting the identity of what he wants that program to become. And right now, I don't think that's what Hansi Flick wanted from his first World Cup game.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Joe, I was surprised too to see Kimmich and Gundogan as that pair. Not because I thought Gundogan, like with Man City, would be in a little bit more of an advanced position. You have Kimmich. What do we talk about? Tim Ream and Anthony Robinson plays with Leon Goretzka every week on a team that competes for the Champions League. I was kind of surprised by that. And Leroy Sané on the bench. And really, I know this sounds goofy because for the last few years of what we saw him at Chelsea, Timo Werner's not even there, right? Like, I look at a very talented and deep team, and they also couldn't get a save from Manuel Neuer when they needed it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, let's focus on Germany then. I mean, sort of, can they recover from this? Because they should have had this game wrapped up, but we mentioned a few of the issues there. It looks like going forward, they just weren't ruthless enough. You mentioned it, Timo Werner being out injured. We know he's not a clinical forward, but for Germany, he seems to be a bit of a different player. And Havertz didn't really have it. Serge Gnabry didn't really have it. I mean, it's some really weird decisions there, right, Andy, in terms of personnel that they've picked for this tournament, even bringing back Götze. I mean, I want to draw some 2018 comparisons. They lost the first game there, then went out of the group stage as well. So it's really difficult for them to come back, especially as they have Spain coming up next, right? So it doesn't get any easier for Germany.
Yeah, some interesting selections, but I think it's also about the best lineup they've got at the moment. Like I went through, and when I put the squad up on PST, I thought, that was my first thought of this is not Germany that we know. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe there'll be a lot of coming of age moments for some young players that have been promising for a long time. But speaking of a promising, player for a long time, Kai Havertz is simultaneously represents kind of what is wrong with Germany at the moment, that he is the best option at center forward, but he is the best option at center forward. And so I don't exactly know what Hansi Flick is supposed to do right now. It looks a lot like Chelsea have looked for the last few months or so, and the last season and a half or so, kind of wayward without a striker, a focal point of the attack. And they create halfway decent chances, but there isn't that player there to take a chance out of nothing.
Absolutely. And now they're going to have to pull something out of nothing, really. I mean, they got Spain, who we're going to talk about next, and they obviously hammered Costa Rica, flowing football, confident. Germany will still be solid, tough to beat. They might just put this down to a couple of freak goals and sort of poor defensive mistakes. But it's hard to see right now Germany getting a win against Spain the way they're playing. It's going to be really difficult for them to get out of the group. And Nick, I think you're going to be proved right picking Japan to go through to the last 16, because that was a terrible start for Germany. And it feels like it might just snowball now. And it's young players who, like we said, don't really seem to fit the system well. And I think they're going to really struggle when they come up against Spain, because I just don't think they're going to create many chances. And even if they do that, I don't think they're going to put them away. So, I definitely didn't have Germany going to the semi-finals in my bracket pre-tournament. Definitely not at all. I just want to say that. So I did, by the way. I'm being funny.